A developing story this noon. Florida A&M University's athletic director resigns. Good afternoon. I'm Jade Bilexa. Thank you for watching WTXL Midday. Our partners, the Tallahassee Democrat, says Kellen Winslow's resignation is effective immediately. FAMU's president, Dr. Elmira Mangum, says she received his resignation letter last night. The Democrat reports her saying, quote, "I'm a little surprised, but not too surprised after all the events that occurred in the last several weeks," end quote. His resignation comes weeks after the firing of head football coach Earl Holmes. Holmes lost his job in the middle of the school's homecoming week. Right now, that coaching position remains open. Now, Dr. Mangum is holding a news conference this afternoon at 3:30 to discuss the university's athletic department. We will have much more on this tonight on your News at 5. The reward for information on Wakulla County vandalisms has now been up to $6,000. The increase is all thanks to the Tallahassee Jewish Federation, who donated $1,000 to the already $5,000 reward pool. The reward is in hopes of finding and arresting those responsible for the vandalism of 3 predominantly black churches in Wakulla County. The letters KKK were sprayed on church property and on a vehicle parked at a golf course. But residents have told us these crimes will not break their spirit.
Somebody's done forward. We're going to solve this. But what these people have done is not indicative of the way Wakulla County is. It's somebody that's more than likely going to be a young person that saw an opportunity, that was a coward, that could hide behind a can of spray paint.
The FBI has also stepped into the investigation to investigate the crimes as hate crimes, which is a felony. Turning now to your international news, where a hostage situation in Sydney, Australia has come to an end. High drama from down under this noon. A mass hostage situation in Sydney ended this morning in explosions and gunfire as SWAT teams shot their way in to rescue. At least 2 hostages were injured. ABC's Karen Travers has the latest.
Just after 2 a.m. local time in Sydney, heavily armed police in riot gear stormed this building in a hail of gunfire and flashbangs. Emergency responders carrying out several people. Another scene here apparently receiving CPR. Multiple people taken away on stretchers. The dramatic standoff began at about 9:30 a.m. local time Monday morning in the heart of downtown Sydney. A single gunman taking over a cafe, holding multiple people hostage. The suspect is identified as Man Monis, a self-proclaimed Islamic sheikh and alleged sexual predator. 2 hostages were seen through a window holding up a black flag showing a Muslim profession of faith. Others inside were made to call Australian news stations and produce web videos in which they detailed Monis's demands. On at least 3 separate occasions, hostages emerged from the cafe. Monis was known to Australian authorities before this incident. He made headlines last year when he pleaded guilty to sending angry, hateful letters to the families of fallen Australian service members. Incidents like this today in Sydney raise obvious concerns about something similar happening here in the U.S.
But the problem is that individuals could be totally off the radar. They could be radicalized online and not set off any of the tripwires that would give the FBI advance warning.
Intelligence experts say American officials at any time are tracking several dozen people who could be interested in carrying out an attack here. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
Turning now to your news across the region, a redshirt freshman football player for Auburn was killed yesterday morning at an off-campus apartment complex. According to 18-year-old Jaquel Mitchell's girlfriend, he got into an argument with a man at a party when a third man pulled a handgun and opened fire. According to Auburn police, they arrested 22-year-old Markel Hart of Camp Hill, Alabama on murder charges. The apartment complex where the shooting took place is the same complex where former Lowndes High School football player Ed Christian of Valdosta and 2 others were shot to death outside of a 2012 pool party. Some students are now scared to visit that area.
There's always something going on here, and we lost an Auburn football player, and here we lost another one.
Mitchell was able to play both back and tight end and was expected to contend for a starting spot next season. He reportedly had plans of becoming an FBI agent when he finished up school. Now in your news, up and down Florida, state economists are expected to meet today to forecast how much Florida is expected to collect in taxes. Governor Rick Scott could be getting a boost for his plans to cut taxes and fees by $1 billion over the next 2 years, while also spending more on schools. The main budget could grow 5% during the fiscal year that began in July. The final predictions could be finished up this Thursday. Over in Apalachicola is where a replenishment of oysters begins. A couple hundred oystermen are spreading fossilized shells to replenish oyster bars in the Apalachicola Bay. It's the first phase of the $4.5 million federal project design that's expected to last 6 months. The bay is famous for its oysters, and you'll recall it's been threatened by overharvesting and a water supply dispute with Georgia. And it's time now to check in with meteorologist Max Paris. Max, the temperature's not too bad outside today.
Yeah, we're quickly warming up, that's for sure. Back to seasonal averages and even a little bit above that as well as we go into the afternoon hours. Check out this nice view from Franklin County at this hour over at St. Teresa. A loop over the last couple shows a few high, thin clouds streaming through the region, but that's about it. So Titan radar going to be making clean sweeps for the rest of the day. No rainfall to talk about for the rest of your Monday, but changes are in that forecast. You look upstream and there's a little bit of rainfall now moving into Mississippi and just on the far western side of Alabama. That rain, yes, is headed our way, giving us our next rain threat as we go later on into the work week. As for the rest of today, temperatures pretty tranquil in the mid-60s, topping off in the low 70s by the time the kids are heading home from school. So again, one of those days you woke up this morning, had to get all the layers on, but hopefully shedding some of those layers as we head into the afternoon hours. We'll let you know when the rainfall is going to start to move into the area and if there's any big cool downs in that forecast. Those details and more just minutes away. Jaden?
All right, Max, thanks so much. Taking a look at your entertainment news this noon, in the wake of a massive cyber attack, Sony Pictures issues a warning to media outlets. Don't report on stolen information and delete the information they may have. Hackers trying to stop the release of the film The Interview recently released of private Sony emails, scripts, and other materials. Security experts suspect North Korea is behind the attack. Sony's lawyers sent a letter to several media companies yesterday, including CNN. It indicates that the perpetrators of the attack have threatened Sony employees. The letter also states the company does not consent to use of stolen material. Filmmaker Tyler Perry weighed in on the situation.
I think we all make stupid mistakes and may say stupid things at once or a joke here and there, but unfortunately this all came back to haunt her. But I do not believe that she's a racist. Absolutely do not believe that.
Hackers are threatening to release more sensitive data from a massive cyber attack against Sony Pictures. Spelman College is suspending its endowed professorship to Bill Cosby amid allegations of sexual assault. The school is the latest to disassociate itself from Cosby. Spelman released a statement saying that the goal of the program was to promote positivity for scholars, but due to recent allegations, they are unable to still meet that goal. Cosby has been accused by several women of sexual assault after he drugged them in the 1970s. And in Texas, it was long lines, rowdy crowds, and shattered glass all over the last pair of Air Jordan shoes. The Air Jordan 11 Retro Legends Blue, to be exact. Hundreds of people stood in lines waiting, some showing up hours in advance, many even camping out overnight. There were reports of shots fired at one mall and shattered glass at another. Police say there were no arrests made. And speaking of Air Jordan, records set by the shoe's creator Michael Jordan has been broken by LA Lakers Kobe Bryant. Bryant sailed past Jordan on the NBA's all-time scoring list Sunday. Bryant is now the third highest scorer overall, behind Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Karl Malone. Jordan released a statement congratulating Bryant on his latest feat, saying he looks forward to seeing what Bryant accomplishes next. Well, we're in the holiday season, and what better way to get you in the mood than with a Christmas tale? Two special guests are here to tell us about a musical event going on in Thomasville. You don't want to miss out. Stay with us.